It's your boy, Football Time. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. We have new Dynasty mode update for college football 26. Woo! Okay, so we got a little update. If you guys have not seen, there is a update out for college football 26. So if you have not downloaded it, check it out on your PlayStation or Xbox. You should have it. But we got some Dynasty mode as well. Hey, it was not a big thing for me, Dynasty mode, when not last year's, but when the last one came out. Like, I was in middle school. I was like in middle school or something like that. So I was not playing Dynasty mode and stuff like that. But because one of my favorite modes in Madden is franchise mode. Yeah, no, it's for me. It kind of got me more interested in the mode, especially with last year's college football 25. I was really interested. So let's see what some changes or some things they added or fixed, whatever. Let's see. Without further ado, let's jump right into this. Let's go, baby.
We just got a small update for Dynasty mode in college football 26, and we know of some other updates that are coming soon that we've got to talk about. Now, if you missed the video the other day, they did a small gameplay update, which I'll touch on really quickly before we get into the Dynasty stuff, because I know not everybody catches every video, but basically a few days ago, they addressed the issue where some people were having trouble snapping the ball because the screen was getting stuck after certain input commands. They also addressed issues where left-footed kickers sometimes would freeze when trying to attempt a field goal or an extra point. They also addressed the issue of the stiff arm spam that was going around, but they did say that they would continue looking at balancing that, and they also did some tuning to increase interception chances because a lot of wide open interceptions had been dropped, but also there's a lot of drops on offense as well that they're looking into. And they reduced the positive and negative impacts for player grading on the mic and cornerback positions in Road to Glory. So just to catch you up on the stuff from the other day, if you happen to miss it, the way you can always stay up to date is just by subscribing and turning the bell icon on. That way you never miss any of the updates as soon as they drop. Now for this morning, we've got a small Dynasty mode update, which is kind of one of the bigger things that was happening for Dynasty mode right now that was annoying a lot of people. Obviously, there's some other things they're going to be fixing soon as well, but said that they have addressed the skill caps and position changes for online Dynasties. Offline will be coming in the title update that's coming soon. So with certain issues in the game, if you're playing online, they can fix them quicker, because I believe they could go server side for certain things and fix them up without having to go
most of it is servers.
For offline stuff, typically it's going to be a title update where they have to go through Sony and Microsoft and get all of that okayed by them. That's why title updates take a little bit longer. But basically, for the skill caps and position changes, it says you can now change a player's position within their current position group without penalty to their skill caps. You'll be free to swap positions within these groupings: running back and fullback, anybody on the offensive line from left tackle all the way through to right tackle, anybody on the defensive line, so that includes the left edge, the right edge, and the defensive tackles. The linebackers, Sam, Mike, and Will, so all linebackers, you can interchange them. Same with defensive backs, cornerbacks, free safeties, and strong safeties can all be interchangeable, and specialists like kicker and punter. Now here's one that is interesting. It says athlete recruits can now set their initial position without impact to their skill group caps. So that says initial position, so I guess, you could still see some skill caps there depending on what position you're trying to change them to. So just something to keep in mind there. And it also says here, a player's new skill caps are now more strongly influenced by their development trait and school year. Younger players and those with higher development traits will have higher skill caps at their new position, which I think that is something good to take into account there. Okay. Because obviously if you have a high development trait or you're a younger player, you need
online player, so
your skill caps. So glad that they got that addressed really quickly.
But
again,
it's good to see.
Offline player, you're gonna have to wait for the first title update, which we're gonna talk about that in a second. But that should be coming very soon.
Yep. All right. This one I'm ready for. Let's hear some offline stuff.
They also made some additional updates. It said they addressed a coach point exploit when retiring and then creating a new coach character. So they got rid of that exploit, which is good. Definitely don't want to see exploits in the mode, because you get in online dynasties and stuff and people try to take advantage of those things. They also reduced the impact of the reach your potential ability at motivator tier 1 for better coach ability and recruiting balance. Note, this affects the influence given to recruits when a player at their position hits a skill group cap. So they did some additional work with that as well, which I think is pretty good. And here's another very important piece of information, because I know everybody's going to ask this. I probably should have said this before I said everything else, but yes, these will work in already created Dynasty files, so you do not have to create a new Dynasty for this
I
to
like
work. You
that.
can go into the one
That's
that you've
what's
been
up.
playing, and these changes will take effect. Normally,
Yeah, I
with
kind
a
of
lot
wish
the
he had
updates
mentioned
they do
that
nowadays, you
way
don't have
before.
to restart a Dynasty, which is good, because back in the day for like franchise mode and stuff like that, you'd have to constantly restart new ones when they had major updates.
Damn,
Most of the
you
stuff
did.
now, for the most part, will work in existing
forgot all
Dynasties.
about
I'm not going to
that.
say everything they update will be that way, but for the most part, most of it should be. And again, for the offline folks, title update coming soon. We're going to talk about what to expect in that title update, but really quickly, I want to shout out today's video sponsor, Underdog. If you like sports and you like winning money, then you've got to be on Underdog.
Shout out to Underdog.
Now, in
Maybe
terms
you
of the
sponsor
first
me
big
one
title
day.
update, it's always kind of the biggest update of the year, in a way, in my opinion, because it's the one that usually adds some new content, but also addresses the remaining early issues of the game. Now, for Dynasty mode, the main other thing I think people are waiting on is that there are too many weather games, so that's something that should be addressed in that update. We've got the position changes done, at least for the online Dynasty, so that was kind of the biggest major thing. But one of the main things they're always going to address a lot in the early updates, it's going to be gameplay stuff. Now, yes, they did fix some gameplay stuff a couple days ago, but they're going to always balance the game in those first couple of months. And so some people might love how it plays. It's going to get tweaked. Some people might hate how it plays. Like right now, a lot of people do not like the way defense is playing. Some people think the defense is fine because, you know, it's a little bit easier to score right now. They're going to constantly tweak these things based on community feedback. So we know they're still looking into the...
Okay, I gotta say this. When it comes to the defense, from what I've seen, I think it's you know, but at the same time, it's college football. In this like these couple years, defenses have been okay, but haven't been. It's an offensive show. That's why a lot of people watch college football, because they want to see the big play. I mean, so for the people that's saying, "Oh, it's the defense is trash," this and that, watch Saturday college football. And see how many broken tackles, how many picks that should be picks. See how many like misassignments and then you see the camera go to the coaches and they're just like, what is this young man doing? Oh, get him out. Get him out here. Get him out here. Jeffrey, go in for him. Go him. But I'm a kicker. I don't care. You're better than what's out there right now. Okay. We see that every Saturday. So I never really understood, oh, the defense needs it. Like, yeah, I think it could be better, but it's never going to be an NFL defense. Because in college, it's all about scoring. Now, every now and then you will get some years where defense is like, yeah. But majority of college football over the past couple of years has been an offensive show. So that's what they're going to represent in the game. It's going to be more offensive focus. I'm sorry, defensive guys, but that's how it is in real life. You see? I never understood that.
Stiff arm, even though they kind of balanced it a little bit, they're still looking at more stuff there. They mentioned that they're looking at dropped passes, both, you know, on the offense and dropped interceptions, because there's just a lot of wide open ones being dropped. We're not talking about where you're in tight coverage or you're trying to make crazy catches either way. It's more so you're seeing wide receivers drop some wide open passes that just are happening too much and shouldn't be happening. And the same on the defensive side of the ball. You know, a defender is squared up with the ball and they're just dropping a lot of those interceptions. So they're going to be looking into balancing that for sure. I believe they're also going to be looking into certain abilities. Now, they did do work, obviously, in the offseason to balance and reduce some of the effects of certain abilities that were overpowered last year. But right now, for example, the Aftershock ability is probably the one that is the most overpowered. And it was a little bit overpowered last year, too. So there's been a lot of feedback on how that's just causing way too much wear and tear. We know wear and tear as a system is kind of polarizing. Some people love it, some people will hate it, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a better balance to be had there. Of course, if you're in your offline modes, you have those settings where you can tweak them to your liking.
I wanna give you guys, your online players and even offline players, a little tip with the wear and tear. For the ones that don't like it, and that turned it off, okay, cool. But if you are one that actually want to like get a better handle on the wear and tear system, just pay attention. Don't run the ball 20 damn times and then act like you don't know why your running back can't run as fast as it did when you hand it off to him the first time. Because if you keep on spamming the same exact plays every drive, your players are going to get tired. Hell, some of them are going to be like, bro, like, can we change it up? Like, can you do something different, bro? Like, at some point in time, the defense is just going to be like, you know what? We sitting on everything. Oh, he just going to take a deep shot. All right, we'll put our safety all the way back there. And then watch them get mad, throw the controller, and then say the game is trash. Like, find other plays, please, guys. This is for online and offline players. With the wear and tear system, be smart. Don't spam the same plays. Stop it, guys. Damn.
Which I think is great.
Every
but
year.
For an online player, you can't tweak those things. And right now, the aftershock ability, I mean, they put one hit on a QB, and sometimes they're just out of the game, which I guess you could say is kind of realistic.
I bet say that is realistic.
In an online game, you know, the wear and tear sometimes just gets deducted really, really quickly, and you're at a point where you're just constantly having to use backups. Where it's like, yeah, sometimes.
I mean,
player,
but online
players,
players, they don't understand football, a lot of them. So
it seems like an every game type of thing, which your QB is just not going to get hurt every single game and be, you know, almost useless. So they're definitely going to be looking into some balancing with that.
Can I interest Tua?
There's also a bug in the coaching adjustments where if you set your cornerback matchups to anything other than balanced, this can cause your defensive assignments to flip. I've seen a lot of people talk about this. I've mentioned it in videos. I've replied to comments about it, but it's just kind of hard to get the word out to everybody on this. You need to make sure for right now in your coaching adjustments on defense that you're setting your cornerback matchups to balance. That should be where it is by default, I believe. You want to make sure it's there because if you set it by speed or by ratings or whatever, sometimes it will cause your defense to flip, which is not a good thing at all. It's a really bad bug right now. And also you want to periodically check this because sometimes I have seen where this can kind of change on its own. I don't think that happens too often, but I've seen it happen to me one time, and I know other people say that, you know, it's happened to them. I mean, I've played, you know, a bunch of games. It's only happened to me one time that I can remember, but one time is one time too many because that can cost you
that's
game.
true.
So make sure that it's set to balance and make sure you're checking it kind of periodically throughout the game to make sure it stays there. That's something they'll definitely be addressing. But for now, that is kind of the workaround, is just make sure it's set to that balance setting so you don't have to worry about it flipping. And on top of that, we're going to be having new uniforms added. There's teams that have new uniforms that they don't have in the game yet because the teams didn't want them revealed in the game first. So we're going to be getting a lot of new uniforms. We should be getting new equipment and other things like that very soon. There's a lot of other things that they're going to be addressing and adding, but that's just kind of the simple things that I know of so far. And hey, if you want
Alrighty then. So for right now, it's going to be the online. For obvious, they can get it out a lot quicker. It's a server side thing. But the big update, the first big update is coming soon for all the offline players such as myself. Hey, I think it's going to be a good update. You know what I mean? I mean, they've already fixed some bugs and stuff like the hiking of the ball. Yeah, that one right there would get me upset. Like, you cannot hike the ball. Like, imagine it's 4th and 1, right? And it's the national championship. No, 4th and goal, national championship, and you can't hike the ball. Oh my good. Now I don't break my stuff, okay? Cause I value mine, all right? But I'm probably just walking out of my room for a little bit, you know, just gonna be pacing back and forth. Maybe some cuss words every now and then. Who knows? But that's gonna do it for me, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction. Love you guys, and see you guys in the next one.